Ladies and gentlemen, I bring something amazing to you. Yes, I bring something so wondrous it'll have you begging this mangaka for more. You want something with world building that reminds you somewhat of One Piece? You want something that has such hard one-hitter wombo combos. Well, that doesn't really make sense if it's a one-hitter but also a combo. But anyway, you want something that has such beautiful panels in these big fights. Like, I don't know, maybe My Hero or maybe a One Punch Man. You want something with beautiful, fantastic panels. Maybe the comedy that somewhat reminds you of the current new age Ichi the Witch. You want fantastic plot points that get you really sitting up in your chair. Look no further. I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, Galaxias, written and drawn by the wonderful Aoi Hatesuka. The world of Galaxias is just so amazing. Perfect. The world of Galaxias has been nothing short of amazing, all the way up from chapter 1 to chapter 30. And immediately you are just hit with tales, myths, perhaps legends. You learn about cities that may or may not exist, and then you actually perhaps start discovering the world more and more, and maybe, just maybe, those tales aren't just myths. And that's where I get to where the world building somewhat reminds me of One Piece just a little bit. Before we get into talking about the three main characters that we will get to know and perhaps maybe another group, I just want to talk about how much I look forward to Galaxias volumes or chapters, anything of the sort. There isn't any English translated volumes yet, but there has been some Japanese volumes, and I have made tremendous lengths to go ahead and just get them. That is how much I love this series. I mean, you have volume number 1 right here, then you have volume number 2, and then you have number 3, which is my favorite, and this is a character on the cover that we will talk about later. But now let's go ahead and get to the nitty-gritty. Let's go ahead and start talking about the characters. We first have the wonderful, the adorable Gio, who I'm pretty sure you can, there it is, see right there at the top right screen. We have the wonderful Gio. She is the main character of this series. Off the bat, for chapter 1, of course, you learn more about the main character immediately. We are just hit with the facts that she loves adventure. She has a book which contains the myths or the legends of a hero named Yuri Holst. Gio is born and raised on a random island that's sort of ways away from Lineakea. I think that's how you say the kingdom's name. That is the mainland. That is the kingdom in which the story takes place. She is born on an island that is just somewhere off the west coast of it. That's where she is born. Gio's main goal in chapter 1 is to get off this island. Gio's main goal is to pretty much just get off this island. But before I get to how she does that, let's just go over some more oh my god, I screwed up that. Let's go over some more of what makes Gio great. Let's just say that instead of characteristics. Oh, I said it that time. First, what makes any MC extremely likable? She is very caring. She's also very courageous, if that's the right word I would use. Having courage means that you are scared, but you still choose to move forward while being scared. And she protrudes this attitude, this characteristic a lot. It really makes you just want to keep rooting for her. And when she is discovering these new places and these new islands that she's heard about, you can just feel the excitement from her. She's like a tourist, and you're also a tourist that's right there with her on that trip. It feels like her excitement is pouring straight through to you. The next character in this series that I'm going to introduce you to is actually a nameless character.
What?
For a little bit, he's a nameless character. We'll get to what he's actually named as, but she finds this guy while she is fishing. He just happens to be on the hook as she reels it up, and he's actually looking for food. And she takes him to her place of residence, or just a place, and she lets him feast on some stuff. Off rip, you can tell that there is something up with this guy. Well, first off, he has amnesia. He doesn't actually know who he is or where he comes from. And so while this character is chilling at her residence, they begin to talk about what they are and what their dreams are. Or more so, Geo talks about her dreams, and she wants to just go out there and explore like the hero Yuri Host did in the book that she has. She wants to go out and explore, find places, document stuff, and she's kind of just coming to terms with the fact that she might not be able to get off this island because her father, for some reason, is forcing her to stay there. And this character tells her, well, I think that's boring. You want to do this, you should do this. You should go out there, you should go exploring, find places you want to go find, discover new things. And so we get to the next part of the chapter where she goes ahead and she names him. She names him Neraid. I think that's how you say his name. Neraid, Neraid, right? She names him after a character in her book. This character, Neraid, in her book is cursed by a witch and forgets who he is. Sort of reminding us that that's kind of the same predicament that, well, this newly Neraid named guy is currently going through. But not everything is all sunshine and rainbows, ladies and gentlemen. We've got people from the mainland, the kingdom, the knights to be exact, popping up on the island, and they're here for a very specific reason. They're here for Geo. Now you might be wondering why they're here for Geo. Well, let me just go ahead and warn you, if you want to go ahead and start reading chapter 1 right now, I'd advise you to go ahead and read it right now, because I'm about to just go ahead and say what happens in this chapter. Y'all all good now? All right. They are here for Yuri Host's daughter. You've already probably pieced together the puzzles here. She happens to be his daughter. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wasn't her father this guy that wants her to stay here? The chief of this village? No. He's keeping her there because apparently Yuri Host murdered the king. Like the previous king murdered him. And anybody who is in connection with Yuri Host has to go. Daughter, a baby, doesn't matter. They gotta go. Because apparently now they are a part of that crime. They're doing some North Korea type stuff. They're here for her. Now, how they found out, they went through a lot of extensive research for this. And the knights send someone whose name is Yerk in it. And he goes there and he spills the beans to Geo of what she is. He puts a pretty good beat down on her father. Her father looks goddamn freaking mangled and stuff in this first chapter. I will say though, Geo does get her time to shine before all of this goes down though. She does some crazy cool maneuvering. She gets a gun. She has a bullet in her mouth. She spits it out, reloads it, tries to shoot at him and stuff. She can do some pretty cool stuff on her own, but you know, to no avail. She is going against the knight of the kingdom. Ain't really much else you can do about that. Then we get to Neraid popping up. And he's not going for none of that. He sends a good old-fashioned beatdown on Yerk. Some of the best paneling ever. At least to me. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Sent him through a freaking mountain with a punch. And then you cannot help but think, who is Neraid? Who is this guy? Who are you, man? Why are you so tough? Explain to us. Who are you? Now, you may be wondering what is up with his tail. Or what's up with everybody's tails who we've seen so far. Well, we have a species of people in this series, and this is going to kind of lead to how I like this power system a little bit. They are called dragon folk, and then the dragon folk have different all kinds of tails. Later on in this series, you see, people who have like kangaroo type tails or stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and you get to see this protruded in many different cultures, different lands of the series. One of the best things about the world building that this series has to offer, it plays a huge part in that. We're gonna go ahead and introduce the next character in this series. His name is Schmidt. And how you meet Schmidt, well, I'm not gonna spoil that for you. I want you to be surprised. Instead, we can talk about his characteristics. Schmidt is a researcher, and Schmidt kinda represents the Pokemon in all of us, all the Pokemon trainers that want to go ahead and fill out their Pokédex. Essentially, that is what he is trying to do with the dragon people. He just wants to see all the different species of dragon people there are, and he wants to just document them. That is all he really wants to do. That's all he actually cares about. And notice how I'm saying that, because that kind of does play a part into his character. Seeing as to how Geo and Neraid come along, he is extremely interested in both of them. He is a character that seems like he may not care about anything else but his research and, you know, just his research, but I get the feeling, just me personally, that there are some things he does deeply care about. And maybe that'll go along for his character development up in chapter 30. There is a big moment in chapter 30. God. Don't mind that. There is a big moment in chapter 30 that happens where I think that may be opening up for some character development. I don't know. We will see. Now that we have talked about the main three trio that we will be mostly seeing throughout this series, I think I want to just go ahead and start talking about maybe the antagonist of this series. So we first talked about Yerk in it. We did talk about Yerks in chapter 1, and you know, it turns out he is a reoccurring character in this series. He is a part of the Knights from the Mainland Kingdom. Well, I did show you this character on the volume 3 cover of Galaxias. Well, she is the captain of this squad, and I have a big glaring feeling that they are not the main antagonist of this series. I feel like they are the first group that we got to get through, and then perhaps maybe they show up later, turn a new leaf, because I feel like there is so much more to the series. But her name, and I hope I am saying this right, is Antares. Yes, she is a Dragon Knight. She is a part of this squad. Their name is the Zodiacs, I'm pretty sure. In chapter 9, Antares is briefly mentioned because they just completed up something. The Yerks and his partner, they just completed up something, but he wants to go make a report, but his partner reveals that she had already departed to go somewhere else. But in chapter 16, that is when she makes her actual full appearance. And my God, I freaking love this character. She may be an antagonist right now, but she has so much swagger, and she just protrudes honor. You know, there are honor among knights. Beautiful, extremely strong, and when I say strong, bro, strong. I'm not gonna say what happens, but like, you will feel all. My voice is creaking up from the amount of aura this character protrudes. She is freaking strong, bro. You will feel all of it throughout the pages that are to come for you in your first experience of reading the series. And then we have Kerner. That's the partner. That's Yerk's partner. That's who I was talking about earlier. Hey, Kerner. Now, I do want to talk about maybe one of the negatives of this series. Maybe one that you might consider is the, perhaps I want to say the consistency. I know I messed up that word up, but the consistency of how, you know, often chapters drop. Sometimes you'll get a chapter in between maybe months, and then sometimes you'll get some that are like relatively close to each other. I do sort of like that the author is releasing on her own schedule. I hope she gets as much rest as possible. But if you want to keep, you know, reading the series, you know, throughout, or perhaps maybe you're like one of those sort of like me where, you know, if I'm not constantly having a new chapter, you know, dropped, I might maybe forget a little bit about a series, but I don't mind reading back a chapter. But maybe you're sort of like me in that matter, then maybe that's a negative for this series. But I still think that you should absolutely read this series, because this series means a lot to me and to so many other people. Shout out Monkey on Twitter. That's really the only negative that I can think of with this series, though. Truthfully, just the consistency in which chapters may drop. Other than that, this series from chapter 1 all the way up to chapter 30. Chapter 30 dropped actually a couple days ago, so that's good. But the consistency in which chapters drop, that might be the only negative for me. But it's not enough to actually put me off this series. I'll read whatever chapter drops of this series. Like I said before, I have 3 volumes. I cannot wait for volume 4 to drop. I will be there. Man, this series it's special. It's special. This series is genuinely special. I remember doing my live read on Twitter to this series, and I was actually kind of mad at myself for not starting this series before, because it's that good. I don't mind now waiting for new chapters to come out because it means that much to me. And I think it'll mean a lot more to everyone else who happens to be viewing this video too. But I definitely say you should go ahead and just give this series a good old read. You should give this series a try, a definite try. And you should go ahead and support the series too, if you can. Of course, I think just reading the series might be beneficial to the author. She might be the most happiest person in the world, but there's just something about a good, I even put this up closer to the screen. There is just something about a really good antagonist. You can see the back there too. It's got one of the panels that she's on. As you can see, she wields an awesome sword. There is just something about a really cool antagonist, right? And an antagonist who might not seem evil at first, but is still on the opposing side. And you know, you learn more about this character, or you get a feeling about this character. But one of my favorite, I think my favorite aspect about this series is just really the world building, man, and the different species of dragon people that just inhabit it. You know, you have, like I said, they were like kangaroo, but they use cool kung fu and stuff like that. There's a big fight with that. You get to learn about Schmidt, who is also a different dragon person than Neraid. His powers are freaking awesome. I'm not revealing them to you because I want you to see. I want you to be surprised as to how you meet him, because his powers play a big part in that. I genuinely want this series to succeed even more, and if this video can help in some capacity, in some way, I'm all for it. If I got you to view this manga, then you know what? Mission accomplished. If I didn't get to, well, you know what? Can't say I didn't try. But will you be giving this a try? And if you already have given this series a try, let me know in the comments what exactly you want to see more of from the series. I think that'll do it. I appreciate y'all for taking time out of your day to just watch this video. You could be doing anything else right now, but you chose this, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. Other than that, catch you in the next one. 07.